spin around from Francis damaged those tires a little bit more than he was ready for.
Might have had a bit of just a bit of smoke coming off those tires. He was sliding so fast there into 3.
So Castroneves leads. Michael Waltrip is second. And for third now, Francis Jr. kind of has the field bottled up behind him a little bit. Greg Biffle's in the gold car. Bill Elliott is in purple.
You know what's really interesting about that for Ernie, though, as well, is that was one spin, right? And these guys are going to be sliding these tires all night. So later on in the final, that's a big telltale sign for me because he is really struggling. That thing is all over the place. It looks like he's on a wet track compared to a dry track for all these guys.
You watch that front tire on Francis Jr.'s car as he goes through the corner. He's driving it like it's an open-wheel dirt car as he's passed on both sides by Kanaan and Biffle. Yeah. Let's check back in with Matt Yoakum.
Alan, a big change in fortune for Elio Castroneves. Due to the invert, he was starting up front. He was mired back in the track. The biggest challenge, he could not get his car to turn in the corner. Having that clean air up front should change the balance of his race car and make it go from a really wicked tight car much more neutral and get an idea what changes to make at the brake.
That's a look from the visor cam of the 4-time Indianapolis 500 winner, Elio Castroneves.
Elio's a strong leader. We saw that last year during the Indy 500. Once he got to the front, he was never going to surrender that lead. So I'm not surprised by this. It is very interesting, though, how you go from running dead last and then immediately pulling away from the pack. It just goes to show you how important this
straightaway back to the pack.
Are you saying he might have been strategic and kind of pacing himself in Heat 1?
Elio's always strategic. He's old and smart.
He's got Michael Waltrip chasing him.
Michael Waltrip as well. I think he's got to be excited to be back up front because he was battling with Ernie Francis wheel to wheel for like 12th place, and that's what's so fun about these reverse grid races. I think it's great to see just a couple guys that were struggling earlier now having a great time leading out front.
So here's the race from 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Bill Elliott in the purple car, Ryan Newman right behind him, and then Bobby Labonte in the white car.
12-year-old me is extremely excited because I see Bobby Labonte, Bill Elliott, and Ryan Newman battling it out, and Greg Biffle in the number 69 machine. So you know he loves to party, and that's a great group of 4 right there.
Bill Elliott here to run one of 2 SRX Series races he'll compete in this year. The NASCAR Hall of Famer said he came here so many times with his son Chase over the years, as Chase, now a champion himself, was working his way up through the racing ranks. And so that's why he wanted to come and run this race. Where is Chase? Well, Chase is here. He served as pilot to fly his dad in for the race this time. He said, Dad's done that for me a lot lately.
What I enjoyed about seeing Chase down there as well is that looked like he was doing a little driver coaching. I'm not sure how that works, but there was a lot of tip trading and some great chatter between the family there on Father's Day weekend.
Pressure from Ryan Newman on Bill Elliott. Waltrip 4, while Castroneves and Michael Waltrip continue to run 1 and 2. This for 3rd place. Yeah, I mentioned Bill Elliott and Chase Elliott. Talking to Bill this morning. The Nashville race that ended our SRX season last year, where the 2 raced together for a lot of the night. Bill said that was one of the most special atmospheres and special nights he's had in the sport. And you think about all the special days and special nights Bill Elliott's had in auto racing, that says a lot for what his experience was like.
Absolutely. What a cool deal for him to be able to race against Chase. And, Bill clearly has not lost the skills. he may be more experienced than Chase, but he knows what he's doing, and he's out there battling with some of the best in the world right now.
66 years old is Bill Elliott, Matt. He's out there running 3rd.
And you mentioned his son Chase, who not only a NASCAR champion, but a snowball derby winner. And we were just talking about the nuances of racing years, but the problem is I can give him some advice for particular parts of the track, but it has changed so much. The front stretch has a new grip of asphalt, so that's going to be different coming off the corner when the car finally takes flight. The track is a little bit different off too, so there are some changes that can give him overall help, but at the end of the day, it's almost apples to oranges from when I scored my trophy.
Yeah, sure. Bill himself has raced here before, but he said it was way back in the late 80s. So a few things have changed since then too. Here's Ryan Newman with a look under Bill Elliott.
Oh, man, just almost there at the left rear corner. Bill gave him a little bit of room there, but just squeezed him enough to where Ryan had to rethink it.
Bernie Francis Jr. has come to pit road. This is Tony Stewart and Paul Tracy. Oops.
Yep, that's about exactly how it should be done here. I respect Smoke for the way he got by there, and not too much contact to make people very angry, but just enough to let Paul know, see you later.
Tony back in 10th place. Paul Tracy is in 11th. Here are first and second. Still Elio Castroneves and Michael Waltrip.
You know what's great about having these guys are thankful for Ernie Francis Jr. right now because he separated the entire field from the rest of them. And I guarantee those guys are probably just out there saving tires, just relaxing because they know that they're going to have this fun flag coming out here in a little bit. They got to push the end and fight off all the rest of these guys who have been battling at the back.
Michael Waltrip, his second year in the SRX series. Best finish a year ago was a 5th place run. He's got more. Remember one of the, whoa, there's a nice save by Michael. Remember one of the issues, Michael's so tall that his feet were kind of cramped in the car. Well, the SRX gang jumped on it, and he's got a little more foot space in his machine this year as the caution comes out in heat race number 2. So at the midway point of our second of 2 heat races tonight here in steamy Pensacola, Elio Castroneves is the race leader.
You see, son, with a little elbow grease, you can do just about anything.
Thanks, Dad.
That's right, Robert.
Heat race number 2 as the race leader, and Matt has more.
And Ernie, you talked over things with the car with Ryan McKinney. So an incident with Elio Castroneves. The car did not feel good after that point. Something amiss?
Yeah, you know, we were kind of struggling since the start of the heats before this spin, actually. Car just didn't feel the same. I don't know if just weather conditions down to that. Made a few changes from the practice to the race, and didn't seem to work out too well. After the hit, I don't know, something felt weird in the rear. I'm not sure what was up with it. Just couldn't get into the turns at all. We'll keep wanting to come around on me. So brought it in to see what they can figure out and try and get back out there for the future.
Alan?
All right, Matt, thanks. As the field doubles up for the restart, so they'll either repair that car or put Ernie in one of the backup cars for the main event.
Yes, and Ernie's a very talented driver, so it's, you know, when he was falling off that much, there's always something broken in the car because, you know, drivers just don't all of a sudden forget how to drive. I can promise you that. All
right, here we go for the restart. Green flag with Castroneves, Waltrip, Newman, and Elliott, the top 4. Between those 4 Indy 500 wins and 5 Daytona 500 wins, and they're all in the top 4 for the restart.
So you're telling me they're successful, huh? That seems about right.
I'm telling you, they're superstars. We're on brand here, you know?
Yes, and I raced with Elio just last weekend, so he's still out there trying to add to his trophy case. And
Are you still mad at him?
I am a little cross with Elio still, but that's okay. You know what? These things happen, and we will move on to the next one. Also, he has 4 Indy 500 rings, and I have a mullet, so realistically, there's not much I can compare to him.
Well said.
You notice who's moved up through the field pretty well? Bubba Pollard.
The local all-star in the patriotic car, Bubba Pollard.
He's been sneaking up through the field, and he's now on the back of Tony Kanaan, and I think he's going to be one to watch. I mean, there's still a couple minutes, well, actually only a couple seconds left in this race, but still, if you get a win and probably pass 5 or 6 cars, that's a good point total, I'd say, for the final starting grid coming up later.
Bubba Pollard's family runs a racetrack in Sonoya, Georgia, 3/8 mile dirt track. They race on Saturday nights. They were supposed to have a race tonight. And then Bubba got the spot in the SRX race here. They canceled the racing tonight at Sonoya, and all of his family and friends and about half the track workers that would normally be working up there are here tonight watching him race against the superstars.
Well, you know what? That's what we love about motor racing. That's, an incredible event like this. Bring the family out Father's Day weekend. Have a shot to go beat Elio Castroneves, Michael Waltrip, Bill Elliott, Ryan Newman, guys like that. I mean, it's what an awesome night.
And you're racing against the guy right now, Tony Kanaan, who just came off a top finish at the Indianapolis 500.
Don't remind me.
On Memorial Day weekend. Well, you know.
Tony is an incredibly accomplished driver. I mean, my gosh, he is just an Indy 500 champion, IndyCar Series champion, and now looking for an SRX championship maybe this year.
White flag out in our second heat race. By the way, TK finished on the podium in the Indianapolis 500, finished 3rd in that race. So it is Castroneves to turns 3 and 4 with a comfortable lead over Michael Waltrip. Elio